This morning, the Rapidan Dam near Mankato is in imminent failure condition. That's how the Blue Earth County Sheriff's Department is describing the situation. And we have new video just into our newsroom of the dam. Take a look at this. Built up debris causing the Blue Earth River to make its own path around the dam. The dam was built in the early 1900s. It's experienced flooding damage before, but nothing quite like this. Senator Amy Klobuchar toured the area yesterday and said despite the damage, Mankato itself appears to be safe right now. Take a listen.
It doesn't mean they don't have power down nearby because of the dam, the partial breakdown. And we've got right behind us an Excel substation where they have 170 workers that came from the Twin Cities to help and fortify it because they don't want to see that happen across the region. So we are here to tell the people, the local communities, that we got their backs, Democrat and Republican working together, and that we're going to do all we can working with the governor and Senator Smith to make sure we get the funding to recover. And if we meet the federal threshold, which it appears we are meeting, which is over $10 million in federal damage to public infrastructure. It can be local, state, federal infrastructure, but it has to meet 10 million. Then federal money kicks in. 75% of the public infrastructure repair will be paid for by federal, and that's a big help to Minnesota taxpayers. So we're just telling everyone to keep track of the public damage so that we can meet that threshold, and then we'll get help after a disaster declaration is declared.
Now, if there is a full collapse of the dam, county leaders say the rivers could raise another 2 feet or so. There is a levee system protecting the city, and they are confident it will hold up. So right now, there are no plans for any sort of mass evacuations. The Blue Earth County Sheriff says he's hopeful the river will crest today so they can fully assess the damage.
Thankfully, a dry day ahead, which will hopefully be helpful to some of our Minnesota communities dealing with floodwaters. High water levels on the Cannon River are impacting communities from Northfield to Waterville. Now, we were in Waterville earlier this morning where members of the Minnesota National Guard are manning the pumps to keep the water moving out of the city. The Red Cross has also set up a shelter to help residents who've been forced from their homes. This is the first request for help that the National Guard has received this year. Our Pauline Lee spoke with Sergeant Will Wandersee, who explained what it means to be part of the mission.
You're a local guy. You're from Elk River, is it?
Correct.
What does that mean for you to be here and to help this town recover?
It's an amazing feeling to be able to come down here and help out our neighbors. It's truly amazing.
Yeah.
Now, if you'd like to help the people in Waterville, the county has set up a fund. It's through the Franson Bank and Trust. It's a local bank there. You can donate by mail or online. Also find all the information in the town of Waterville's website.
Northfield is approaching historic flood levels as thousands of sandbags are protecting the riverside businesses. The river crested Sunday night, unofficially at a record high level. Northfield's police chief says he still expects it to be at flood stage through Friday. Northfield city leaders say do not drive, bike, or walk through barricaded areas and to call 911 for any emergencies. Today, Governor Tim Walz, along with Senator Amy Klobuchar, will take an aerial tour of southern Minnesota. They're expected to get a bird's eye view of the high water levels impacting homes and businesses. Governor Walz says 40 counties are impacted by flooding. 7 have asked for emergency assistance. In the metro, you can already see a significant rise of water levels. This is on the Mississippi River near Harriet Island. Officials say the Mississippi and Minnesota rivers might not crest until later this week. So to help mitigate issues, 44 National Guard members are now stationed on the island to help pump water.
In Burnsville, part of Black Dog Road, that's shut down from 35W to the Egan border, along with the trails along 35W. Officials expect to see the Minnesota River rise there even more, and this area could be closed for a while. But whew, after all of that, Joseph, there are some really happy people that we are not seeing rain in the forecast here today.
Yeah, we had a bit of a lucky escape last night as well, because we could have potentially had some very heavy rain and storms last night. Now that storm system now in areas of Michigan, northern Illinois, and that whole complex started right to the north of us last night around 9 or 10 p.m. And it did bring in some very heavy rains for areas of Wisconsin. All right, so that's what's going on now. It is nice to get some dry time. It was still a little humid this morning, but we're working on that. 78 degrees right now in the Twin Cities. We'll take the sunshine. We'll take a few clouds. we can leave the rain out to the west. Well, we may see a few droplets of rain, but that will likely be late tonight. Dew point has come down about 10 degrees since about 5 or 6 a.m. So that's nice. We like to see that in the 50s, but lower 60s is good. We did not want it back about 70. That's where it was again about 5 a.m. So hey, some drier air is moving on in. That's going to take things down into the not bad or comfortable category for probably a good 48 hours. You can see that it's a little shaky on the camera. The wind is out there, but it's not going to be too gusty today. It might push about 15 to 20. You can see by about lunchtime, yeah, a few clouds, probably avoiding the rain. Temperatures in the lower 80s. I have a stretch of 70s in the forecast. I have a little bit of rain as well, but I have some cooler days coming up. We'll talk about that and that rain that's going to be here. I'll let you know what it means for the rivers. I'll get to that in about 10 minutes.
All right. Sounds like a plan. Joseph, thank you.
Yep.